Limitless. Limitless, TeresaM-Contest.
Limitless. What does that word mean to you? It's something I think about a lot. Have you ever thought, what would life be like if I was a more effective person? If I got rid of my fear, my anxiety, things that hold me down? Well, those sorts of questions were very much on my mind during last summer. And I decided to do something about it, to try to answer those questions and to find out what's happening beneath my brain. And so I've talked to many of you about this, but I would like to talk more. It's something called the Landmark Education Forum. Something about personal development. A friend of mine brought me there. So what I want to share with you, I wish I had all night to share with you because I can fill up the whole night with what I learned. But I want to share with you 3 tools specifically that I got from this Landmark Education Forum. First, the distinction between what happened and the meaning that I put around what happened, okay? We perceive things moment to moment. We make meaning out of that facial expression. What did that email mean? Why didn't he text me back? What does that mean? What does that mean? That's happening in my brain all the time. So to demonstrate, I want to share with you my biggest breakthrough in this whole distinction of what happened and what the meaning I put around it and what it did for me. Okay, I'm a twin, and all growing up, my twin got straight A's. I got A's and B's, so I wasn't, well, see, I'm doing it again. I'm putting meaning behind it. What happened is she got A's and I got mixed grades. One distinctive moment that I remember that shaped a big thing that I have is I was 13 and our report cards came home. My dad opened her grades and she got straight A's. He said, "I'm so proud," and he hugged her. And he did not do that with me. In that moment, I decided I wasn't good enough. I decided that my sister is so much better than me and that I shouldn't even try. He doesn't even acknowledge me. My dad is a jerk. He favors her. I created this whole story. But what actually happened? What did I just tell you? He opened the grades and he hugged her. He hugged his daughter because she got the grade. That's what happened. What I put around it is like, I'm not good enough. So for the next how many ever years, my sister was better than me. My dad's a jerk. I'm such a victim. So during the Landmark Education, I was like, I can actually let this go. I don't have to live like I'm not as good as my sister. So they encourage you to make phone calls, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. My dad is not going to hear me. My dad is from a different culture. He doesn't. But it's like excuses. What if I did it? What if I stopped the limits I put, and I called him, and I shared this with him? So I did it. I called him like, please let voicemail pick up. Please let voicemail pick up. He answered on like the 6th ring. He's like, I was just out the door. I'm like, okay, pleasantries, the weather's great. Okay, I guess I have to do this. Dad, all growing up, I thought you liked Mary more than me, and I've resented you for that, and I'm ready to let that go. And I made this story about what that meant when you hugged her and when the grades. And he's like, and I was like, is he gonna meet me halfway? Like, how's this gonna go? And he's like, I'm so glad that you realized that you made that up because it's not true. I love you guys all the same. And like that, our relationship completely changed. Limitless, my relationship with my dad now. I can tell him anything. Do you know how much weight lifted off of me? It was incredible. It even changed my relationship with my twin. I didn't have her on this pedestal. I used to like walk around eggshells with her, like, is this weird for her? Like, is this, am I pleasing to her? So that leads me to my next distinction. Living a past created life. That's my second tool that I received. What does that mean, past created life? That means, think about it. How much does your past show up in your daily life? The baggage that we all carry around. Relationships, career problems, school, whatever, carrying it along with us. Think about what life would be like if you didn't have that anymore. It's really simple. You have the power, so I'm trying to share that with you. For a long time, I didn't want to ski because my sister's an expert double black, triple diamond, backwards skier. So I was like, I'm not touching that because I'm not going to be as good, and I'm not even going to have that comparison to have. I didn't realize this was going on until Landmark. So after I released the burden of these limitations that I put on myself, I decided to try skiing, and as many of you know, I cannot stop talking about how much I love skiing. I was just telling Rick that I spent the whole day on the mountain yesterday, and I left reluctantly when they closed. And how did that come about? I stopped seeing the limits of my twin sister being better than me. I'm such a victim, poor me. It's like, get a life, right? And I'm getting one. I'm in the process of getting one by not putting these limits. So it has really shifted my sister and I. Third, actually I want to talk more about past created life, another example. You know, I have a boyfriend right now, we've been together for about 4 months, and past created life shows up a lot because the guys who have cheated on me, the guys who have been jerks, what have you, all of a sudden, my new boyfriend, who's never shown me any reason to distrust him, he's getting the burden of these past relationships. That is living a past created life. Thinking that he just moved that way, he just looked at me that way, he's cheating on me. He said he was busy, he had work. But I made all this meaning in a look, because in my past, that meant he was cheating on me, so all of a sudden I have blinders on, and all I can pick up are those signals. But what about if I let go of those blinders and saw what really happened versus saying what I think happened? Then you can see the truth. He only said he was busy. He didn't say he didn't like me. He's just busy tonight. Third, language. How important language is in our life. When we talk, we're creating. When we say, I can't do this, it's true because you said you can't do it. But if you see that you can do something, if you say you can do something, if you say you trust, if you say, this is something I can do, you can do it. But if you say, I can't, or I'm not happy that I have kids, or you're making that real. So how do you want to live? With limits? Without limits? Because it's completely in your control. You can be the victim and say, oh, my dad and my mom, they've ruined my life when I was born and the way they raised me. Doing this landmark education forum, after the 50th person came to the mic and said, well, my dad, it's like, heard it all before. Okay, so what are you going to do with that? What do you want to do with that? In terms of language, honoring your word is vital. What else can you give somebody besides your word? That's all you have. So if you say you're going to be there at 6 and you're not there, they're going to remember that. So being authentic and saying what we mean and meaning what we say. So I invite you to live a life without limits and don't see possibilities as something you can't have.